I am currently working on the fuel rails, getting the fuel lines mapped out, how we're gonna want them. Ryan just got the radiator supports mounted up. These are from On3. They're just little stamped aluminum pieces. You use your factory grommets that come in your factory radiator support, and then you use the factory mounting spots. I don't know if you guys can see that, but put those in. And I know Ryan has showed you before, but this is the whole unit that you get rid of. Probably save a good 20 pounds or so. This will be more weight coming off the front. And there's his factory K member that we also replaced with a tubular one. So got a good bit of weight off the front end of the car. And now we're, like I said, just working on getting these fuel lines mounted up, seeing exactly where we want to put the regulator and stuff, because it is a 4 level 2 return fuel system. And once we get all of that part, or that part of it figured out, then we're gonna go ahead and get the lines done that come from the fuel hat all the way up to the engine bay. So we'll catch back with you guys and get a little more done. And if we have any snags or anything on the way, we will pick up and explain what we're gonna do.
So we are in the process of putting on this BMR upper control arm. This is the stock one. This is obviously the BMR one. I bought this car and the owner gave me that upper control arm, but we already have BMR lower control arms on the car with relocation brackets. But basically all you gotta do is you got a bolt right there. Same thing on the other side. I'll switch on the other side of the. Got a bolt right there. Then you got a bolt right there. That's on top of the axle. And then you got one big bolt right. Where is it? Where are you at? Right there. I don't know if you can see that or not. That little guy. Right there. And that one's a big girl, so it takes like 250 foot-pounds to torque it down. But we got a 1/2 inch Milwaukee, which will just give her the old hug-a-dug.
Yes, sir.
And Austin here is about to run some fuel lines, so she's coming together, fellas. She's coming together. Already got the fuel rails on, which you guys already saw. Also showed you guys that already. So making moves. Making moves. This is Mia. Mia, come here. I know you're eating, but come here. Say hello to the vlog. That's Mia.
Hungry wolf.
Yeah, she's a killer wolf.
Not eating. What are we doing down there, bud?
Swapping motor mount bolts. We have a bolt here. It's got a stud on it, which we need on the other side, not this side.
Wonder who messed that one up.
You.
Yeah, I did that. Alright, so we've got both of the lines up to the hat. Turn a light on so you guys can see. Feed and return lines are done. Haven't done the wiring yet. We are currently in the process of trying to decide if we are going to relocate the battery to the trunk or if we're going to leave it up here. If we leave it up here, then we're going to have a catch can that's going to be going right next to the battery. So the regulator will be going over on the driver's side strut tower. But if we decide to move the battery to the trunk, we'll be putting a catch can where the battery originally was, and then the regulator is going to be mounting up right here on the firewall. It'll be closer to the rails and everything else. But gotten a little more progress done today. Not a whole lot of stuff you can see. Got the starter back in the car. Ryan's working on getting that motor mount bolt swapped over because there is one ground that does connect to a motor mount on the engine, and I thought I was working on the passenger side of the car, so I put both of them on bottom, but it was on the driver's side, so Ryan's swapping it over while I work on the fuel.
Stuck.
So, yeah. Yep. Ryan's big wrenching.
I'm stuck, man.
You big wrenching down there.
The ratchet's stuck. It's cool though.
Man, you big wrenching.
Big wrenching. We need a lift. Oh, Jesus.
Avage Sponsor us.
Help us. Please.
How you doing, man?
Clocking this turbo to the right position.
Trying to route the cold side piping right now just to see how everything's gonna work. But
one thing leads to another. Literally.
Definitely one thing that we're gonna have to address. These fabulous brackets that are supposed to be mounting the intercooler. It's probably not gonna do a whole lot if you hit a bump, so we're gonna have to do something to fix that. Got this side for the most part put together. Obviously we don't have any clamps on or anything yet because we're just trying to see how everything goes together and trying to clock this turbo into the right position. But this fabulous bolt down here, that's supposed to be down here, hits up against the drain when you try to clock it to the right position. So I have to figure out a fix for that too. But we're getting close. We're getting close. We don't have many parts left, so cross your fingers for us that the rest of this goes smoothly and we can figure out some solutions.
Some magic
to these problems. If we run into anything else that is way messed up, then we'll pick back up and we'll show you guys. But until then, we'll see you later. Ryan, you're probably not going to use this, but I'm going to throw it in here anyway in case you want to. Alright guys, so we had a little bit of trouble with these brackets that come with the On3 twin turbo kit for the S197. You're supposed to be using factory holes to mount it per the instructions, and when we had it sitting flush, this bolt was all the way at the edge on both sides. I don't quite know why they would make it like that, but we had to figure out some sort of solution. As of right now, just to get everything mocked up, we stacked washers in here just so we had something to go off of, just to make sure all the cold side stuff lines up. Started to get the driver's side, the cold side put together, and it looks like it should get pretty close. And we had the driver's side stuff all put together last night while we were holding up the intercooler, but it looks like all this is gonna go together pretty well. And we also got the fuel regulator mounted where we want it. We're going to be doing a battery relocation, so the factory battery location is going to turn into a coolant catch can, and I'm sorry, not a coolant catch can, oil catch can. And then we're going to be putting the battery back in the trunk. So, and then the other thing that we just got, we got a custom AC line made so that we don't have to route the AC line with this rubber part being up against the header, even though we have them Cerakoted, and we also have them wrapped. We just didn't really want to run into the issues of potentially having one of those lines burst. So got this custom line made, used the On3 rubber line, and then we also still have the On3 aluminum fitting that they made, or that they sent with the kit, that mounts onto the AC compressor. So we're gonna get all that tightened up, and we're probably gonna have to zip tie this up because I think we got that piece made a little bit too long, but it should be enough to work for us. So I'm gonna finish up on the fuel system side of things, get the rest of the lines done, going from the tank all the way up to the front, and then when Ryan gets here, gets off work, then probably gonna start mounting up the radiator. We're gonna get the AC stuff put back together since we have all the parts for that now. And then we should be getting close to finalizing things and getting ready for the custom charge pipe. The on3 charge pipe goes in the normal spot and kind of comes out and then goes up into the throttle body. We are going to be cutting the hood latch out, and then taking a custom made pipe that's going to go straight from the intercooler up to the throttle body. A little less restriction just because this kit already has a ton of restrictions, and to kind of put a little custom flare on it, go ahead and do that. And then I'm sure, as you guys know, I don't know if you guys do for sure, but we will be dumping the turbos out of the hood and the wastegates out of the hood as well. So those custom pieces will have to be made once the rest of the kit kind of gets finalized and we have everything all buttoned up. So once he gets here, gonna go ahead, probably get the fuse box mounted up, relocate the ECU. It's gonna be going down here under the passenger side headlight, and we might have to make a custom bracket for that. But everything's coming together pretty smoothly. Just had little hiccups here and there, and then little things that we didn't like with the on3 kit that we adjusted for our own liking and ease of fitment and install. So if there's anything else that we do that is somewhat custom, or things that don't come with the on3 kit or with the base kit, then we'll let you guys know and show you what we did. We'll show you what we did to overcome those issues.
We didn't show you guys this, but we went ahead and got the intercooler mounted up and did all the cold side piping off both turbos. Everything's clamped down, ready to rock there. We also put in the radiator and the AC condenser, and then next we are going to be doing the fan. But I'm thinking we're gonna have to chop this little bottom section here, right here, to clear this cold side pipe coming off this turbo. So we'll see when we get there, but hopefully we don't have to do any chopping. But after that, we're gonna move on to gapping these bad girls, pulling the old ones off, and slapping those new 6510s up in there. So in order to do spark plugs, you have to remove your cover of whatever you have a carbon fiber cover, and then undo these connectors right here. Just plug into here, just pop this tab up, and then push down on that and pull up. And then, you know what size it is yet?
What?
These
It's
bolts?
8.
8mm, and then undo those, and then you're good. Pull these out, and then pull your spark plugs out. We are gapping the new spark plugs to 0.026. Was recommended by the tuner, so yeah, that's what we're running with. Spark plugs are in, gapped, ready to go. We just remounted the fan. Gotta plug some of the connectors in, and then after that, that should all be ready to go. AC stuff's already ran. So we had to go to the store to get some hardware for this BMR upper control arm. This came with this came with the car when I bought it, and he has hardware back in the back, but it's not for this. It's for the relocation brackets for the sway bar. But so we had to go get one big bolt for that guy. And we also got an AC bolt because the factory bolt for the AC will not fit with the on-3 AC hose. So hopefully this smaller bolt works. So we're going to be putting that upper control arm back on. And then we also have a BMR Extreme Anti-Roll Bar and a BMR Panhard bar on the way. So stiffen up that rear end some more. Car didn't have a sway bar on it before and just didn't like it. It was too loose. It felt everywhere. So we're gonna put on the BMR Extreme Anti-Roll Bar, put this BMR upper control arm on, and Panhard bar. So that should tighten it up and hopefully be a little bit safer and a little bit more comfortable. An hour later, finally got this BMR upper control arm in. Like I said, it was free. Well, kinda came with the car, but wasn't installed. I'd recommend if you guys ever do an upper control arm to get an adjustable upper control arm, because this solid piece was a pain in the ass. We ended up having to drop down one on both sides, obviously, for that to fit. But she's in there now. Anti-roll bar and Panhard bar next. So I was working on the AC stuff right there. Had to get a new bolt, like I said, because the other bolt wouldn't fit from factory, but got it all in there. Go up here to our little custom line that we had made, and yeah, she's short, which sucks, but is what it is. Like, I want to drive this car in the street. I don't want it to be strictly a drag car, so I want the AC just for comfort reasons, and just want to be able to enjoy it. I don't have to sit in this thing sweating my ass off during the summertime. I'll pass. So probably gonna have to get that new line extended, and then once we get that extended, it should be a-okay. But until then, we're short. But fans in, everything's in, brackets in. Gotta figure out what we're gonna do with the ECU. It's a mess, drives me insane. But we gotta figure out some kind of bracket for right here for that, so it's not just flopping around town. But yeah, other than that, just getting there. So got most of the wiring all buttoned up besides a few ground wires. Went ahead and slapped on these rear wheels and tires just because we're done with the rear end now. Lower control arms, upper control arms, which you guys saw us install. So yeah, we're gonna slap on these tires, these wheels and tires, and then put in a fresh thing of oil. We're gonna be running full synthetic 5W20 Ford Motorcraft oil. I recommended that by a few people, so setting that down there. Make sure there's no leaks coming out from anywhere, because we don't need leaks, we don't want leaks, we don't none of that. So yeah, get the filling her up. So took the manifold off, got this AC line tightened up, buttoned up. We put that manifold back on, and then Austin is working with the injectors that we just got back from Injector Dynamics. They are ID 1300s, and we are swapping out the O-rings because the ones that came on them are too small. So swapping from the factory O-rings onto the ID 1300s. Pop them into the fuel rails and then into the manifold. We can button down the manifold and be done with the fuel system.
Alright guys, so you saw us pull the wiring back for the fuel system into the trunk. We have the FC3 staged controller for the 4 fuel system. So we got some of the wiring done on that. We have to run the remote wires for it still. And then obviously the power is going to be done once we get the battery relocation done. We've got that on order and it'll be here. And it's going to be cleaning this area up because, like I said, we're gonna have a catch can that's gonna be going here. We've got a little bit of wiring still to figure out what we're gonna be doing with the fuse box and relocating the ECU. We've seen a lot of people that have put the ECU down here, but not many people have put the fuse box down here. And as of right now, we're just trying to get the car running. We're not going to be extending the wiring and putting it in the fender for right now. We're just gonna try to make it work with what we have. Some people, a lot of the people with the twin turbo on 3 kit, they put the fuse box right here, but we don't really like the look of it because it's not very clean. And then next up, we are going to be making or getting the custom charge pipe made, and it's gonna go straight up, cutting this center part out. It's gonna go straight from the intercooler to the throttle body. And then we also have the wastegate dumps that are probably not going to go the way that we had originally planned. So if you guys think you might know what we're going to end up doing with them, you guys can drop a comment below and let us know what your thoughts are on where we should dump the wastegates. But the hood or the exhaust off the turbo is definitely going to be going out of the hood. We've got all that ready to go. And then we also have the hood latches that are going to be going on since we're not going to have this centerpiece of this crash bar anymore. So that's what the update is on the vehicle right now. Just a couple more little things to do. And we will be ready to get this thing strapped down to the rollers or get it ready for email tuning or whatever the case may be. So I just had to run out and meet up with the UPS guy. Boost controller just came in. We're on the Go Fast Bits G-Force 3, and we're probably gonna have the car on a scramble button as well. So thank you guys for watching. This is gonna do it for this video, and when we get the boost controller put in, start doing all the fab work on the exhaust and get the charge pipe and stuff like that done, we will definitely be putting up a video with that. And until then, we'll see you guys later.